All right, so in this video, I wanna share with you the 5 habits that took me from just an average agent to actually selling $30,000 to $40,000 per month as a final expense telesales agent here in 2025. And so I'm gonna share with you 5 habits that really helped and elevated me because I wasn't, transparently, I just wasn't that good at the start, but these 5 habits really transformed me into becoming a top producer, knowing that every single day that I wake up, I know that I'm gonna be able to provide for my family. And it's been a crazy 3.5 years in sales, but it's genuinely changed my life because with these 5 habits, now I know every single day that I wake up that I don't have to worry. I can rely and trust on my skill set, that even on the highest highs and lowest lows, I know I'm gonna be able to produce a lot of money and make a really good living and make multiple hundreds of thousands a year and ultimately into the multi-millions of dollars because I'm able to train and help other people do the same thing. So number 1 is, I'm looking at my notes, is you have to win the morning. So I'm talking about 2 different things. I'm talking about personal, but then I'm also talking about business as well. And I'm talking about being a sales guy, right? So number 1 is personally waking up when your alarm actually goes off, right? And that's something that I've been recently, like not recently, but there's something that is a minor commitment to myself, that, hey, when the alarm goes off, I need to wake up. And I'm not perfect by any means in doing that. But that is something that I make sure to do every single morning. But then once I wake up at 4:45 to 5 o'clock in the morning, boom, I'm up. And then I go to the gym and just get a nice workout in. And if you're faith-based or if you're not, a spiritual of any kind, like I believe in meditating and praying and just making sure that I'm aligned with God entering into the day. So personally, whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be a crazy long routine. Some people do 3, 4, 6 hours. I believe just getting to work, and that's ultimately what's going to allow you to drive revenue and allow you to drive business. But winning the morning is so important, because if you win the morning and you feel like internal confidence, because and your mindset is dialed and you're feeling at peak enlightenment, that's when you're gonna just make a lot of sales, right? It's a conviction game. And if you have a really good, if you have the conviction internally that you have what it takes, that's when you're going to be successful. So winning the morning, number 1, but then also getting on the phones early. So I'm actually in Arizona, and it's like 3 hours ahead of time, right? And so, or Eastern is 3 hours ahead. And so essentially, I'd get on the phone right at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm not afraid to get on the phone even at 6, right? I closed the sale today before 8 o'clock. I got on the phone at like 6:45, and I ended up closing and finishing right before 8. And so it's super important just to win the morning and get on the phones as soon as humanly possible. And I'm not talking, I made the mistake of dialing too early in the morning. And I was actually, this was when I was in North Carolina, I was calling through my power list, and at that time I didn't have the standard, or I didn't have the time zones. That's what it was. I didn't have the time zone restrictions. And so what I did was I called an Alaskan lead, which was 6 hours behind. So I was calling at 8 a.m. and it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So don't make that mistake. But what I'm talking about is as long as it's like after 8 local time. So here I could start dialing at 5 if I'm dialing East Coast people. That's not a problem at all. And so I'm able to just win the morning and do as much activity as humanly possible, because I don't have a hard number and hard data on this, but I would dare to say that like more than half, even if not like maybe 75% of my sales come in the morning, because that's when like just everything's good, your mindset's at the best. And there's nothing better than making a sale before 7, before 8, because you're already set up. You're ready for the day. You're ready to go. You hit your minimum standard, and now you can actually go out and have a 3 to 5 sale day. And the only way that you have a 5 sale day is by starting earlier in the morning. So that's number 1. Number 2 is setting activity-based goals. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 things that you want to have in your day-to-day basis. So number 1 is, if you're a telesales agent specifically, you need to make sure that you're doing at least 300 dials per day. And as long as you are not as long as you have proper lead flow and have the right dialing system, 300 dials is nothing. You should be doing on like 300 to 500 dials per day, especially as a newer agent, if you don't have a lot of experience, because the only way that you get better is by doing the reps, right? Get into 30, 40, 50 conversations and get your face pounded into and build your mindset, right? Become just iron sharp, like become just unshakable. Anything somebody throws at you, you should be able to just let it roll off your back. They could cuss you out. They could say you're the worst person ever. They could say whatever. It really doesn't matter, because I know the internal confidence comes from within, but then also it comes from doing a lot of the reps. So 300 to 500 dials per day, but 300 minimum, 5 presentations daily, right? Have these daily standards. When I started doing this and setting the daily standards of making a sale a day, doing 300 to 500 dials per day, working 12 hours a day, like it doesn't matter, because I can judge the activity. I don't have to judge the result all the time. And so when you're just starting out, it's just so important to get the reps out. We just had an agent last month. He had his record month, but it wasn't surprising, because that dude does like $8,000 to $10,000 dials per month. What's cool is he did like $11,000 or $12,000 of issue paid business in our free lead program, right? And he's just brand new. He's sold one policy, I think, before him and I started working together, and has a record breaking day. He closed 2 policies, not yesterday, but the day before. And so it's like, when you do the activity, when you make it up with massive volume, you shift the odds into your favor to make a lot of money. So set activity-based goals. If you don't hit those, you have to be hitting at least 2 to 3 sales per day after that. So that's what that looks like. That's number 2. Number 3 is the next mentality. I cannot stress how important this is, good and bad, okay? So I'm gonna talk about bad first. If you get a banking objection, you get a chargeback, you get a whatever, just have a next mentality that, hey, the next sale will help me take care of that. The next sale is always there, but if I don't have the proper mindset going into the next sale, and I take to this call that I just lost in banking to the next call, it's gonna screw your closing percentage up. And so what you wanna do is you want to have that next mentality, that the next one is the person that's been waiting for insurance, that's ready to give their routing and account number, that's ready to give their social to me, that's trusting, that actually wants their family taken care of when that time does come. I need to always be optimistic on that, right? But then also when you want to have the mentality also of like, love the one you're with, right? And so you don't want to just blow by these people, but you have to trust your skill set, that when you're on a call, you're there to close, and you're going to close this person. And the reason why the person's been on the phone for 45 minutes is because they actually want insurance. If they didn't actually want insurance, they wouldn't have stayed on the call for that 45 minutes. So what can you do better, right? And that's one of my later points. But have that next mentality, right? So that's number 1. That's on the bad side, right? If something gets up, boom, just pick it up and go back to it, right? But on the other side, when you make a sale, right, you want to double down on that. You want to make sure that actually implants in your head, that becomes an actual habit, okay? So you want to make sure that when you have that next mentality on the bad side, but also on the good side, if you make a sale, you should be like, okay, where's the next one? And where's the next one? And where's the next one? And where's the next one? Because the best time to make a sale is right after you already made one, okay? So that's number 3, is having that next mentality on the good and the bad side, all right? So always hunting for that next deal. Always hunting. Like, have that hunter mentality. What am I gonna go out and kill today? Every single day, wake up and have those minimum standards. Every time I hit a new high, we do $10,000 in a day. We do $20,000 in a day as a team. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I know what it's like to do $20,000 in a day. How do I make this my new baseline? How do we start doing $600,000 a month? How do we start doing $800,000 a month? How do we make it to where when we hit $1 million in issue paid business, I'm upset because I'm like, dude, why are we down 30%? Why are we actually lower than where we should? I want to get to that standard, because every high is a new low, just like the stock market, just like whatever. So anyways, long story short, that's what that looks like. Now, number 4 is trying to improve at least one thing from every call, okay? So reflect and ask, why did I not close it, right? Do call reviews, do role plays, have a mentor in your corner that's going to do these things with you, and always try to improve one thing, right? One good thing, like, and ask yourself every single call. One practice that I did when I was early on is like, okay, I would do self-reflection. What's one thing that I did well today on this call? And then what's one thing I could have improved on this call? And just take that as feedback, and then just take that into the next call. All right, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. Every day, okay, what was one positive thing that came from today? And then also, what's one thing that I can improve on? And then just take it as feedback, don't be emotional about it, and just keep moving. All right, so that's number 4. And number 5 is pipeline work. This is what helped me get to doing $30,000 to $50,000 a month, right? I worked part-time 3 to 4 hours a day last month and did $35,000 on my own pen, right? Our team did $194,000 last month, and we're on pace to do over $200,000 this month. And it's because we understand all these habits. So pipeline work, right? At any given time, I have 20 to 30 people to get back a hold of, because I have a hit list. I have people that I need to talk to. Okay, Lost Step Banking, I set an appointment. I talked to this person. They were at the doctor's office. They said they were really interested in the first 5 seconds of the call. I have this person that I wasn't able to get fully approved, but I'm gonna write them with this carrier. Boom, that's another sale. All right, cool. It's over and over and over. You wanna work your pipeline. You want to really start building a book of business of people and contacts that you can talk to. Okay, I got a referral from here. I need to write this person. I need to talk to this person. And all of a sudden, you start stacking those people to start talking to over and over and over again. But that only happens, the pipeline only builds when you're talking more and more and more with these people. So if you implement these 5 habits, I can promise you that you're probably going to be in a better situation than you're in right now. And if you want to join my sales team, DM me on Instagram, comment down below. I'd be happy to talk to you. We take brokers and we take free lead agents that are wanting to get in the business, or if they're in the business and struggling and just want to take it to the next level and get personally trained by me and my team. And you work one-to-one with me every single day in a dial room. We're in there 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm closing live. If you want access to me like that, drop in the comments down below. Or if you just want to pay for consulting, you can do that as well. All right, see you guys in the next one. Peace.